Hi everyone and welcome to Tuesday Truth. My name is Laura and today I'm going to talk to you about being courageous. Now, being courageous for many people, it involves doing extreme sports like, scuba diving with sharks or skydiving and doing things like that. But being courageous also involves other things like stepping out into obedience into God's plan for your life, speaking against injustice, or speaking the word and preaching the word in a world that doesn't want to hear about Jesus anymore. Those are acts of courage. Now, there are also other things like matters of the heart, like asking for forgiveness, forgiving somebody, loving people without reservations and without expecting anything in return, trusting people with your heart, asking for help. Those are also acts of courage, even though the world might not see it that way. But if you think about it, doing things like that takes courage to do. Now, you're going to say, Laura, I don't think I'm that courageous. The Lord has been asking me to do things. It's all right. It's all right if you don't have, if you don't feel like you have the courage enough. Just think about Joshua. Let's go to chapter 1, verses 1 through 8. Now, if we look at what's happening here, Joshua just finds out that Moses has died and now he's the new leader and he has to take these people into the promised land. And he knows how the people of Israel tend to be, and he knows the challenge that they can be and what a challenge it's going to take him to lead these people into the promised land. Now, verses 1 through 8, the Lord is just telling Moses, oh, I'm going to be with you. You only have to be strong and courageous. And he tells that to Joshua a few times. But in verse 9, God stops and he asked Joshua a question. Have I not commanded you? And I think, why? Why did God stop? After God telling him all of this and giving him all the directions that he needed to do, God stops and questions Joshua, have I not commanded you? And if I put myself in Joshua's shoes, and I'm not saying that I'm Joshua in any shape or form, but if I put myself in his shoes, I just think that he probably felt a tad bit overwhelmed, and for a moment, he had a moment of doubt. I mean, just think about it. He is now the young leader that has to follow into the footsteps of somebody great like Moses. And he's probably thinking, God, are you sure you picked the right person? I mean, has that ever happened to you? I'm going to tell you my own experience because this is called Tuesday Truth for a reason. So when God asked me to open this website, and when he put it in my heart, I was like, oh, no, God, why would you ask me? I mean, me out of all the people, you can pick somebody else, like somebody who's more eloquent, somebody who knows how to do social media really well, somebody who actually enjoys social media. Sometimes I don't keep up with my own social media page. And I even said, God, I have a very squeaky voice. Nobody's going to listen to my stuff. Who's going to listen to me? And in that moment, God in his love and his grace for me, he just, he said, have I not commanded you? Just be strong and courageous. Just do it. I'm asking you to do it. And one day, speaking with one of my mentors, I told her how I was feeling about it. And I told her, I'm not capable of doing this. I can't do this. And I don't think I can do this. I'm not the person who should be doing this. And she lovingly smiled and said, Laura, that is exactly why God chose you, because he knows that you're not going to do it on your own. He knows that you're going to need his help. And, and that is why he picked you. And that is why he's picking you today, because he knows that you probably cannot do it on your own. And that's all right, because he wants to be there every step of the way to teach you, to show you, and to be with you. In verse 9, he says, have I not commanded you? He asked the question, but then he says, be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Even if you make it to the end of the earth, like to the end where nobody is there, even if you make it there, God is going to be with you. So whatever God is asking you to do today, just step out in obedience, and not only in obedience, but take that step of courage and say, I'm going to do it not in my strength, but in the strength of the Lord. Why? Because the Lord is going to be with you wherever you go, even if it's to the end of the earth, like to the last bottom place where there's nobody. He will be there with you. He will be with you every step of the way. Do not allow fear stop you from being that courageous person that God is asking you to be today. So this is your Tuesday truth for today. You're courageous. Believe it in your heart. Let that sink in. Have a blessed Tuesday and have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.